Director's Forward. This is the fourth major exhibition of William Blake's work held at Tate at Millbank. Remarkably, it was the subject of the very first lone exhibition ever to be held at what was then the National Gallery of British Art in 1913. It was remarkable that these were relatively early days in the reassessment of Blake as a figure of cultural history, and remarkably too because the National Gallery of British Art had been established to showcase work by more modern British artists, and then primarily working in the medium of oil painting rather than watercolor and print media that Blake specialized in. A further show in 1947, organized by the British Council and touring to Paris, Antwerp, and Zurich, served the purpose of post-war cultural diplomacy and gave Blake a new currency among generations informed not only by the trauma of war, but the imaginative freedoms associated with surrealism and neo-romanticism. The major show in 1978, curated by Martin Butlin, was a landmark, taking account of the more rigorous scholarly work on Blake as a poet and visual artist undertaken in the previous 3 decades to set out a lucidly narrated overview of his work. The last major exhibition at Tate in 2000 and one of the very first exhibitions at the galleries, now reinvented as Tate Britain, offered a multifaceted Blake, an artisan dedicated to his craft, a politicized artist deeply informed by his revolutionary sentiments and his experience of contemporary Britain, and a wildly imaginative interpreter of the Gothic. There may have been important exhibitions elsewhere in recent decades. Tate's collection was shown in Moscow in 2011 to 12. There have been further retrospectives in Paris and Amsterdam.